Hi guys! So today I want to share with you something that is really close to my heart. Moi Moi is a traditional West African / Nigerian dish that is comprised of steamed spiced beans. I love it. It's kind of very similar to the bean curd and the tofu that you get out here in Asia, but it has definitely got more soul. If you haven't seen me make any of my traditional dishes, I do have one video up at the moment, and that is for my akara. Feel free to click on this link to check it out, because it does cover the basics on how to separate your beans. Moi Moi is amazing because it is steamed, and that is what, to me, makes it a staple, because it's healthy, it's actually quite low calorie, but also you get the goodness of having a lot of spice in you, and you guys know, my West Africans out there know that spice cures everything, at least according to your mother. Alright, let's begin. I'm just going to apologise because I'm not used to measuring out the ingredients, but you can go on my website, SheDoesLiving.com, and it should have like a better rough thing. But if you get the consistency, that's all that really matters. So you'll need beans, and these have been dehulled, around 500 grams, a large onion, some chilies, nutmeg is a key ingredient here, beef stock, dried crayfish or dried prawns, and oil, and tomato puree, which is simply concentrated tomato with about 200-300 ml of water added to it. Moi Moi is a recipe that is pretty much done off the stove. So that means that if you make a mistake, there is no going back and re-seasoning things once you've put it into your pot and you're steaming it. However, because it's such an easy recipe to make, it is really good for first-time cooks or people who are new to West African cuisine. So, how do we get from these beans to that? If you haven't seen my akara video, please check it out, because I really go into way too much detail about how to dehull them. But long story short, all you need to do is soak them overnight and then pop it off. To avoid any confusion, and also to make sure that I get it right first time and every time, I like to make everything in batches. And also because I'm only cooking for 2 people, it's not really, I can't really make like traditional Nigerian style with like giant pots of the stuff. So I've got about 250 grams of black-eyed beans, and I'm going to scoop about half of that into my little mini blender. And about 5 to 10 grams of your crayfish. Now, these crayfish obviously look completely different to the ones used for African cuisine. I like to use them because they also have that really earthy seafood taste. They are a lot more sweeter and don't have that sort of salty taste that I'm used to, but I'll just balance it out with a little bit of salt. Now, this part is completely optional and it's totally up to you, but I want to add this many chilies. I like my Moi Moi quite spicy. I'm using a combination because I can't get Scotch bonnets of the Thai finger chilies and these bad boys. They're actually not as spicy as these ones, but they've got a really lovely sweet aftertaste that I think works perfect in this. Add in 2 teaspoons of stock powder. Normally this recipe calls for Maggi, but I'm using MSG-free beef stock. So 2 teaspoons of that. You're going to slice 1 onion, and the most important ingredient in this is nutmeg. Now, nutmeg is what gives it this distinctive flavour. Add in about half a cup of tomato puree water. All I've simply done is blended some plum tomatoes and sieved it, and that's what I'm using. Now blend. So once it's blended, you can tip it out. This is a really good time to check the consistency and even just to taste it a little bit, because you're going to add water and salt and oil to get it to have that nice creamy texture. As you can see, mine is still a little bit too firm, so I'm going to need to add a little bit more water than anticipated, but the colour is beautiful. And now it's time to put it in our ramekins. As usual, my computer's being really silly, but these last couple of steps are super simple. I've just taken some quail's eggs. I know it seems a bit decadent, but they're very cheap here. and I've stuffed it inside. Because when I was a kid, that was actually the best part of me, for me, of moi moi. You'd always find a little bit of fish or something inside, and I just want to keep that. So I'm just going to simply wrap it in foil, and I'm going to steam it. People use banana leaf, some people use those Chinese takeout trays, but I feel like this is just the easiest way because my kitchen is too small to be keeping all those containers. And you're simply going to put some water down and put it in a steamer, because you don't want the water to touch your moi moi. And on medium heat, allow it to steam for about 45 minutes. Be sure to check it so the water doesn't run out and it doesn't burn. So I've done the dishes and I've cleaned up because I made such a right mess. And now I'm gonna go eat. I'm so tired and hungry, and this is the perfect thing for me to eat tonight. I'm serving it with some lovely jasmine brown rice and a little salsa, like coriander salsa that I made. I know these flavors sound really different, but they really do go well together. Moi moi is such a good side dish, you have no idea. I like to just keep it in the house and just sort of serve it with a few other things, just like you would bean curd or tofu. Tell me how you got along with it, and I'm gonna go eat. Good night, guys.